Welcome back to our explainer. Today, we're picking up a story that's, well, it's honestly pretty cinematic. We're taking a deep emotional look at the unseen struggles of progress. In part 1, we saw that initial spark, the planting of the bamboo seed. Now, we're diving right into part 2, the invisible growth of the bamboo root. Settle in because this chapter gets right to the heart of what it actually means to keep going when absolutely nothing seems to be happening.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever spent years, literally years, watering a dream, pouring your energy, your time, your soul into something, only to look down and see absolutely nothing but empty dirt staring back at you? It's a profound, heavy feeling of being stuck, and it is exactly where we find Noah as our story continues.
Section 1. Year 2 begins. The routine of empty dirt.
So, moving from the excitement of day 1, past the disappointment of month 6, we hit year 2. Every single morning, Noah did the exact same thing. He'd wake up, grab that old watering can, walk out to the empty patch of ground and just pour water on barren soil. No leaves, no tiny sprouts, zero signs of life. But he kept at it. Not because it was easy, but simply because he'd made a promise.
Now you can imagine, the villagers noticed. At first, sure, they admired his grit, but as months dragged into full years, that admiration turned straight into laughter. Kids would actually run by his house shouting, "Look, the man who waters dirt!" The adults would just snicker. Noah would force a smile, but inside that mocking left a really deep mark. It forced him to ask this painful daily question: am I chasing a dream or just a total illusion?
Section 2. The Weight of Doubt. A father's heartbreaking advice.
One afternoon, his father comes out to the field. He stands there silently beside him for a minute, and then, with this really heavy voice, he says, "Son, I've never wanted to stop you from following your dreams, but dreams should feed your future, not consume it." He points right at that empty ground, basically pointing out the devastating reality that Noah had spent 2 whole years caring for something that didn't even exist. Noah lowered his eyes. He didn't have an answer, because honestly, in this painful, silent agreement, he was asking himself the exact same thing.
Section 3. The Breaking Point. A storm of tears and rain.
That very night, things come to a head. A violent storm rolls over the village. Rain is pouring in sheets, lightning is flashing over the mountains, the wind is shaking every tree. Noah, completely exhausted and unable to sleep, wanders outside into this raging weather. He looks over at where he planted that seed. Unchanged, nothing, and right there in the mud, he just drops to his knees. For the first time in 2 agonizing years, the guy completely breaks down and cries. Through the wind and the downpour, he screams out this completely anguished question. Why? Why am I the only one who sees nothing? Everyone else is moving forward. Why am I standing still? And the only reply he gets? Just the sound of heavy rain hitting that empty, unresponsive earth.
Section 4. The Old Gardener. A shift in perspective.
The next morning, the storm finally clears. Noah is practically packing up his heart, getting ready to give up on this empty patch of dirt forever. But as he's standing there, an old gardener happens to stroll by. Stark white beard, hands rough from decades of working the land. The old man notices the watering can tossed on the ground and just asks, "Giving up?" Noah nods, and with total heartbreaking defeat says, "I've wasted 2 years." But instead of pitying him, the gardener just smiles. He says, "Come with me," and leads Noah over to this massive, ancient oak tree standing near the edge of the village.
The old gardener puts his rough hand right on the trunk of that oak tree and asks a really simple question. Tell me, what do you think is larger, the part above the ground or the part below it? Noah is totally confused. He admits he's never really thought about it. The gardener smiles again, pointing out a classic human flaw. We only believe in what we can literally see. But, as he explains, nature doesn't work that way.
Section 5. The Invisible Lesson. Nature's Hidden Foundation.
So the old man bends down and draws a picture right there in the dirt. He draws a tiny seed, and underneath it, this enormous, sprawling network of deep roots. It's the perfect metaphor. He explains that before a tree can ever reach up to the sky, it first has to grow downward. The leaves, the branches, that's what people easily see and praise. But it's that massive, invisible root system below that actually sustains it all. The higher a tree is destined to rise, the stronger and deeper its foundation has to become. Then, he looks right into Noah's tired eyes and says,
Perhaps your bamboo isn't refusing to grow. Perhaps it's preparing for a future you cannot yet imagine. Wow. Those piercing words cut right through the mocking of the village and the doubts of his father. They settled deep inside Noah, completely flipping how he looked at that empty patch of dirt.
It was a massive paradigm shift. He finally grasped this absolute core truth. Just because progress is invisible doesn't mean progress isn't happening.
Section 6. Trusting the process. A renewed faith.
That evening, as the sun goes down, Noah picks up his watering can one more time. But it's different now. He isn't watering the soil hoping for a magic green sprout the next morning. He's watering it because he finally trusts the process. And here's the beautiful part. Unbeknownst to that laughing village, right beneath the quiet earth, the bamboo's roots were actually spreading. They were vigorously pushing farther and deeper into the soil every single day.
The breakthrough wasn't years away anymore. It was inching closer with every single drop of water. Which leaves us with a pretty profound question to carry with us today. What invisible roots are you currently growing in your own life, right beneath the surface, preparing for a future you can't even imagine yet? Hold on to that thought, because we're going to see exactly what happens when those roots finally break the surface in part 3. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and remember, keep watering your dirt.